Hello everyone, it's Pauly Nation and I'm Pauly, and I'm going to do a quick video here on something that I recently installed here, and it's called the community square, or town square as my wife likes to call it. It's the scratch box. So what we have here is a multifaceted, multi-purpose box, and I had to write it down because there were so many uses for this box. And like I said, we call it the scratch box, and it can be used for several different things. I'm going to just read through this real quick, and hopefully it'll give you guys a lot of ideas for your own chickens, maybe other animals as well. But one great thing it does is it provides compost. And what we have in here are, we have wood chips, leaves, grass clippings, kitchen scraps, and of course this right here is kitchen scraps, and it's our compost bucket. And if I were to put it in there right now, they would all go really crazy. So I'm not going to put it in there for this video, but you get the idea. Another great thing for the scratch box is that it attracts insects, worms, and microbes, macrobes, maggots, black soldier fly larvae, everything. It attracts spiders, just everything, and the chickens love it. It's also great for chicken poop, because they'll go in there, they'll scratch around, and they'll poop. And of course, the dog will poop in there, and of course the dog poops in this whole yard, and there's never any dog poop anywhere because the chickens eat it and they scratch through it. The goats will go in here, the goats will poop, the goats will eat the leaves, the goats will eat the food scraps that we put in there. And point number 5 is that it was built under the tree, and it provides shade for the chickens and for the dog and for the goats. And it's also a resting bed because it's cool, and we water it at night or whenever it needs watering. We wet it down, and then when the chickens go up at night for the evening, the worms and the insects will come up and start feeding, and they do their thing, and then they populate, and then when the chickens come out, it's one of the first things that they go to, other than their grain that they get. But that's another reason for this, is because you feed them less grain because they're doing more grazing in here. Number 6 is, you see the sticks here for perching, and they love to go up there and perch and be under the shade. And I like it because instead of them being out here in the yard, they sit up there, and then while they perch, they poop back down into the scratch box. Point number 7 was that it feeds the tree. So we have 2 different kinds of trees growing here, but it's like a big giant mulch for the tree. And you've got insects in there, you got worms, and they're pooping, and the chickens are scratching around, everything's moist, and it's just going straight down. And with your beneficial microbes, it's just feeding the tree constantly. Number 8 is it's compost for us, and after it breaks down after a while, we will collect the contents from the scratch box and use it in the soil mix for the garden, and for the different plants that we have around everywhere. And point number 9 was that it should provide some insulation for insects, worms throughout the winter, and it'll be interesting to watch how well that it does throughout the winter, to see, because of the microbial content and the insulation and the mass of it, to see how much it freezes. Maybe it freezes all the way, or maybe because of the microbial activity, it'll only freeze this much or this much. But we have room here to build it higher. If I wanted, I could go another board up, or I could go a really long board, much wider board, maybe a 10-inch board. So anyway, this is the community square. It's the town square. It's the talk of the town. Chickens love coming in here and just doing their thing, and you know, it's the scratch box, and really interested to see what happens this year going into next year. So hopefully that gives you ideas, and if you can think of other things that you would use it for, let me know. Leave a comment below. But that's it. So see you next video.